Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are tuning in from. I'm so happy to see you here. Today's guest, he is a real estate investor and a personal finance coach, and he helps people organizing their finances and teach them his principles of investment through his practical financial education programs and coaching. Today's guest, he is financially free and he has financial security. I invited today's guest because he never invests without having a system in place. And that is really important. And we teach this to our students as well, because, yeah, we might dig into why later in the episode. But always following a proven system, that's what we teach our students. So when today's guest told me he does the same, it was like music in my ears. So today's guest, he might elaborate upon what this means for him a little bit later, but I was so happy when he told me. And I have to mention that today's guest, he feels great about helping other people. And I know this comes from a good place. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mario Perez. Hi, Mario.
Hi, Joaquin, and thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here.
It's my pleasure. Awesome. Mario, for those who doesn't know you from before, would you mind telling us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, Joaquin. First of all, I am a person who like to learn something new every day. I feel myself as an student. Formally, I am an engineer and a financial coach, as you mentioned. I have been working as an engineer for more than 20 years, last 12 years here in Norway. And in the last 5 years, I have been also working as a financial coach, helping people, as you say, to organize their personal finance. I am originally from Venezuela. I have been living in Norway for the last 12 or more, 13 years. Yes, and that's what I do now. Still working as an engineer, but at the same time, helping people to organize their finance and not also that, also so they can see or identify different possibilities in their life based on what they can do with the money. Because I think the money is just a tool you can use for many things. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I totally agree. As you said, there, money is just a vehicle for achieving something. And
Yes.
what is your goal of maximizing your finances and excelling wealth creation?
Yes. In the last 5 years, as I have been focused more closely in my finance and helping others to not only organize but also to achieve their goals. I have to say that that's very good because I have been paying more attention directly to my finance, but not only because of the money. What I will do with the money, and I had been learning about how to invest my money in different ways to have the possibility, to live the life I want now and getting closer or to even a new stage of this life that I want in the future. So I am working on that. I have a plan and I want to maximize my finance because I want to create more wealth to get closer to my dream. We all have a dream, but a dream is only a dream until you decide to become, like a goal, to make a plan for that. And actually, I will like to call it more than a dream. Like my goal is to live in the south of Europe. I'm living now in a Nordic country. Very cold. We have a lot of snow here in Oslo. It start melting a bit today, but yeah, it's too cold for me, actually. But yes, I would like to live in the south of Europe, and I would like to continue doing the financial coaching, maybe owning bed and breakfast as well at the same time, and get to know people from all over the world. That's something that is very clear, and for that you need to maximize your finance in order to get more wealth. Yes.
Well, there were some key insights I really love. But first, I want to say I'm glad you settled and find yourself at least maybe comfortable in Norway. Otherwise, we wouldn't have met.
Yeah, I
But
enjoy Norway, but yeah, it's cold for me. During the winter time, it's getting more difficult, I have to say.
Okay, yeah. And you said something that's really cool, that you want to live life now, because we can replenish lost money, but lost time, there's no way to gain back time. So making it worthwhile this time on the planet is really important. And a dream is just a dream, yeah. But you also said, yeah, let's decide to make it real sometime sooner.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Definitely.
what is your best tip for taking control of your personal finances if people want to start today, getting more control and excel to next level?
Yes, I would like to say that my best tip to us is that you maybe should ask yourself the right questions and work your way in the direction you really want to live your life. I want to elaborate more about this because I'm not talking about money now, it will come to that, but I think it's very important that people first ask themselves these three questions. I
Mm.
want to say first, are you sharing your life with the people you want to share it now? I
Mm.
mean, you have people around yourself that is the people you really want to have in your life, people that maybe push you, to be better person, or your significant other or your family, whatever. You have to ask that before even thinking about money. And then you also maybe should ask yourself, I'm living in the place I want to live now. Like, as I say, I'm very clear I want to be in the south of Europe in the future, but at the moment I'm living here because I have a purpose. I have kids, maybe growing in a place which is safe, and then you have to consider you living in the place you want to live now. And then, are you doing what you love? I mean, do you have a dream job now, or you're just killing time at work? So if you have been very honest with you and you have clarified these three questions, I think when you are sincere with your answers, then you can start making a plan for financial goal, for financial security, and hopefully for financial freedom. Because it's, as I say, it's important, as you mentioned also earlier, that time is actually a resource that is limited. But money is actually the ultimate unlimited reserve. I believe it's money for everyone in the world. We just need to go and get it. Even the banks just print money a lot, mostly lately with this pandemic. But I don't want to go there. But the most important for you to start creating this financial plan to be to get financial security is that you start with a place that you feel okay with yourself, and then you start moving on that direction. And for that, um, I can give you many tips, but the most important tips I want to give you is that you should pay yourself first. I
Mm.
mean, all the money that is coming to you, you just to you decide the ratio, the percentage, how much you want to keep, but always you need to keep some money for you that you can actually find a way to invest, reinvest, or to make it grow. Yeah, that's my answer for you again.
Yeah, so if I understand correctly, it's some kind of money management system for yourself, that at least a fixed amount, either an amount or a percentage, is set aside that you invest, right?
Yes, at the
Yeah,
beginning, yes.
yeah, cool. And well, you mentioned the three questions here, very powerful to create awareness for ourselves. I just wonder, do you have some experience with maybe yourself or someone you coach that they they hadn't so much clarity on these questions and what that meant for them?
Yeah, I mean, starting from myself, this is a question I continually ask myself, to be honest. And this is not something I say that you have to this is not a right or wrong answer. You just need to be honest with you, and this is something you need, and you will probably need to be asking yourself more than one time because situation change, life change. From my coaches or from my students, I have to say that I have discovered in most of them that when they start asking these questions, they start looking ahead, because the success, in my opinion, for handling money is to have a long view, or long distance, view of the things. So something that I would normally do, more than these three questions, I ask them to see how it looks your life 10 years from now,
Mm.
5 years from now. So because I like to help people to go from A to B, but they need to know what is B for them, you
Yeah.
know. So because if it's not a clear, future, then it's more difficult for me to show them, or tell them how they can organize, because they need to have this kind of, I will not call it motivation, but it's internal,
Yeah.
like inspiration, or I like more the word like, I prefer to inspire people, because I think people should motivate just by acting,
Yeah.
just by getting, track. But this, I just, before coming for this interview, I was just with someone talking about that. Actually, I have one of my students was working with him, and we were trying to develop this first exercise what I made with them, which is about the ideal life. And we were discussing how was his life 5 years from now. And he was talking to me, well, I want to be living in a chalet outside Madrid, and I with a big patio. And okay, but how much will cost this chalet? Imagine you can go in an elevator now, and you are on 2021, and then you get out of the elevator in 2026, and you see you are in the chalet. And then we can ask the guy who is there looking at this chalet how I get here. And then we can make like reverse engineering and try to work on that. So I think it's important. And I think the most important is get clear what kind of life you are living now and where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know,
That makes
that answers to your question. But yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. So it's about getting clarity and being specific, because then, as you said, then you can map out the plan for taking from A to B. Well, yeah, thanks for elaborating upon that. And I know you have some principles for investing. Could you share with us two or three of those?
Sure, definitely. First of all, for any type of investment, either if you invest in stocks or crypto, or if you invest in properties, which is my favorite, or you invest in a business, which is another possibility,
Mm.
or any other type of investments where you need, the most important, and I know because I really share that with you, Joaquin, is to have a system,
Mm.
or we can call it a plan, but I will call it a system, an investment system.
Yeah.
Um,
Or as we call it,
well,
a formula.
yeah, or we can call it a formula, but the most important is don't go there without knowing, because people always want shortcuts. People want to go really, okay, maybe following what someone does, I will do the same, or I hear this, or I hear that. And I think, in my opinion, because as I say earlier on, when we started the interview, I like to learn something new every day. And I will not send someone for, I don't recommend any investment. I just show people how to invest, I will say. And this, I think with the disclaimer on that. But I will mention three for you, three tips for this. And the first one will be create this investment system.
Mm.
You need to have a system. You
Mm.
cannot go and invest in whatever you want to invest. I will make an example, even with crypto, which is some speculation investment, but it's an investment. We can call it. Some people call it playing, but I will say doesn't matter how you call it. But even if you are going to invest in stocks, or whatever stocks or crypto, whatever crypto, you need to make a system.
Yeah.
You decide, and a system, and I will not go in deep into that, but
Oh, we don't have time for that tonight.
yeah, but at least the most important, I will say, you decide in advance how you're going to make your investment. Then you say, okay, every month I'm going to invest this amount, and then whatever it's happened on this, I'm going to keep on that. And then you need to see when you are getting in, but then you need to see when you are going out. If you see when the crypto may hit that amount, I will go out. No, doesn't matter what you go out, because you need to be very specific about when you are in and when you are out. You remove emotion from the equation when you have a system. Number two, you have to follow your system until your system stops working, because the problem is that the system work until they stop working, because something you may have decided in advance now is not working anymore. Then you need to pivot and start again. And you need to realize that that's a possibility, because you have created a system. Even if the system looks good, doesn't mean it will work forever. So you need to be prepared to pivot. That will be my second advice, or my second principle. Then the third is invest only according to your possibilities. What I mean with that, before you decide that you are going to invest in something, and then I have to start talking about investment portfolio, because something I teach is that you need to earn the possibility to invest, and that's you earn it after you have some savings. And I'm very clear on that. If you have at least 6 months of your expenses in savings, that's whatever it happened. If you are not living in Norway, that we have a system that may give you some extra money when we lost our jobs, but you have something there to cover your expenses. Then you say, okay, I have some extra money to start investment. Then you have to define a portfolio. What I mean, if I have, for example, $1,000 only for investment, and I decided, okay, I'm going to invest 20%, $200 in crypto, then this is the maximum money you can invest in that. Then you are go according to your possibilities. So just to summarize, remember to have to create an investment system. You have to follow your system until your system stop working, and then you have to pivot, and then you have to invest only according to your possibilities, and most important, based on a ratio or percentage of your portfolio that you have decided in advance. And last but not least, you have to remember, if you don't have savings, don't invest. First the saving, because you need to be secure.
Wow, really powerful. Thanks, Mario, for sharing this. And I can definitely relate. As you said here, number one, having a system, so knowing what to do and when to do it, and you decide it in advance. Because as you said, it's about taking the emotions out of control. And secondly, being able to pivot, that is really important as well. I do this, and how we can frame it is also taking time to looking at the history, like how you performed. If you've been investing for a while, how was it going? Is there room for improvement? So I love that you shared this as well, because it's about taking time for reflection as well.
Yeah.
Being aware of your possibilities goes back to clarity, as you mentioned at the beginning, having clarity about what your limits and possibilities are. Yeah, let's call it possibilities, because I want to build on the successes.
Yeah, definitely agree with you, Joaquin.
Yeah. And I know you had a mentor to excel your knowledge and skill set in financing, and having mentors to learn from. What had that done for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think everyone should get a mentor. I would like to have mentors for everything. When I mean everything, is all areas in my life, because a mentor will help you to get faster where you want to go. And I have mentors that have really given a lot to me on the financial side, or because I have used a mentor, for example, people in Spain, which is well known for teaching about the personal finance, but then I have a mentor in the United States as well. So I use as many mentors as I can, Joaquin, to be honest. I even have a mentor for public speaking, a mentor for improving my speaking skill, a mentor for many things. I mean, I'm in Spanish and in English. As you see, my English is far away from perfect. I just do my best every day. But yes, it's important to have a mentor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about making the most of our time, which is a limited resource, to quote you. Before we wrap it up, please add anything else if you want. And I just want to say thank you for coming on and sharing three of your principles for investing that you teach to your students and elaborating upon them, because this is key for success, and I can tell from my own experience. But yeah, before we wrap it up, Mario, is there anything else you would like to add?
What can I say, Johnny? The most important is clarity. If I want that people take something from tonight's meeting together, is get clarity in your life, because life is short, time is a limited resource. Remember that, and you have to, if you want to make, for example, growth like your money, because I think money is very important, that the tool to get other things. You need to focus and get clarity in what you want. Define this B. What is B for you? What is this goal? What is this dream? And make a plan for that. That's what I want to close, to wrap it out.
Well, yeah, thanks. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take yourself from A to B, you have some awesome resources here to learn from Mario as well. Mario, thank you very much for taking the time to come on my show tonight. Really appreciate that.
No, thanks to you, Joaquin, always. Thank you for the invitation. It was nice to be here.
So for those who are tuning in, thanks for tuning to Financial Success Secrets tonight. We'll see each other anytime soon. Take care.
Thank you.